Are you feeling more tired, more emotional? Maybe you're feeling bloated. Maybe you're struggling to sleep and having extra weight gain at the moment. Or maybe you're just craving all those sugary snacks. If you are feeling any of those things more than usual, then maybe your body is trying to tell you something. More importantly, maybe your hormones are trying to tell you something. And sometimes it's telling you that the foods that you are eating is not working for your body right now. And in today's video, I want to talk about what foods are going to be best for our hormone health, especially for a woman over the age of 40 going into the perimenopause and menopause stage of their life. If you don't know me, my name is Rachel. I'm a fitness enthusiast, well-being enthusiast, and I love everything to do with health and well-being. I'm also a qualified fitness instructor and a qualified dance instructor, and I have some knowledge in nutrition. And a quick disclaimer just here, I am not a doctor, so this is all from my own experience and my own research that I have done. So just a quick disclaimer there, if anything is wrong with your own hormones, please go and get them checked by the correct people. And in today's video, I want to talk about the foods that we eat, how they can positively and negatively affect our hormones, and what we should be eating to make our hormone health work better. So first up, we are going to talk about healthy fats. So the healthy fats is actually what hormones are made up of. So we want to not overly consume healthy fats because they are quite high in calories. But we do want to make sure that they are in our regular meals that we're having every week because it will help our hormones, as our hormones are already made up of fat. Now, the benefits of eating healthy fats in your daily meals that you have, first and foremost, it helps support our hormone production because, like I just said, hormones are made up of fat. So by eating healthy fats, it supports our hormone production much better. Also, healthy fats can keep us fuller for longer and it helps with our brain health. So if you want to have good memory, and especially when you're going into perimenopause and menopause stage of our life, we do get something called brain fog. The healthy fats is not going to magically make that disappear, but it's definitely going to help. And another reason why we should have some healthy fats in our diet is because it will help our skin and it helps our mood. Now, like I said, we don't want to overconsume healthy fats because they are high in calorie, but having some healthy fats every single day is actually going to help our hormones, help our skin, help our brain health, and help our mood. So it's definitely worth having healthy fats. Now, some healthy fats that you can add into your diet are things such as avocado, olive oil, salmon, nuts and seeds, and eggs. They all contain healthy fats. So eggs is great. You can have omelette, a boiled egg, you can have a poached egg on avocado toast if you wanted to. You could just have it as part of a big salad as well, especially had like a salmon salad with some boiled eggs on the side. That would be absolutely delicious with a big salad. And also nuts and seeds. Now, the thing is, a lot of people say, oh, nuts are healthy, nuts are healthy. Yes, nuts have got some great healthy fats in. However, an overconsumption of them can lead to weight gain because nuts is very, very high in calories. So you just want a small palmful of nuts every single day, whether you just eat them as a snack or you chop them over a salad. You only want a small palmful of nuts. Now, my favorite nuts, I like walnuts because that's really good for the brain as well, but all different nuts have different benefits for our health. So if you'd like me to do another video on the benefits of nuts and seeds and what each one can actually do for our bodies and our brains, do let me know in the comment box below. Now, one thing I am going to say is peanut butter. I love peanut butter. Any nut butter I love, and I know a lot of people are not a fan of nut butters. But peanut butter is more about healthy fats than it is about protein, because everyone says, oh, peanut butter's got a high in protein. Not really. It's more a healthy fat source than it is a protein source. So if you are using peanut butter as a high protein source, because it's great for protein, but it's better for healthy fats. Let me know what you think in the comment box below. So some meal ideas you could have is eggs and avocado on toast. You could have a nice salmon salad, whether that is a cold salad or you could have it with some nice roasted vegetables, depending on what time of the year that you're cooking. And like I said, you could add some sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, or some nuts over the top of any of those dishes, as well as you could do the same with this one, which is Greek yogurt and seeds. So hemp seeds are really good. They are also high in protein. I like to have mine with sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds, and then I also drizzle that with honey and add loads of berries to it as well. So Greek yogurt with seeds, eggs and avocado on toast with a summer salmon salad. Try and say that really fast. Or a winter salmon salad. So whichever one that you want to have in the season that you're in. So let's move on to the next bit, which is the proteins and how proteins are really important for our hormonal health. So a high protein diet for everybody, especially for women over the age of 40, is extremely important. Now, if you want to know why, I've done a video on this previously, so I'll link that in the description box below for you, so you can go and check that one out after you've watched this. But by having a high protein diet, it actually keeps us more satiated for longer. So therefore, we're not then snacking in the mid-morning because we're hungry, because more protein in every meal is going to help us feel satiated. It's going to help our body in many ways. And one of those ways is that it actually stabilizes our blood sugar. And by stabilizing our blood sugar, it stops us having those cravings and stops us having those energy crashes. And when we have those energy crashes, that's where the cravings kick in. So by having high protein meals, about 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal, that's actually going to be great for our hormone health because it will stabilize our blood sugar so our hormones can produce better. So some meals that you can have when it comes to high protein are chicken, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, tuna, tofu, and any beans or lentils that you like as well. So you could have chickpeas or butter beans or cannellini beans, or you could have red lentils or split lentils, whichever one you have. So there's lots of sources of protein for everybody, no matter whether you are vegan or vegetarian or not. But you could have a tofu salad, a tuna salad. You could have tuna on top of a jacket potato as well to get that high protein in. Greek yogurt salad. You could even put Greek yogurt in with the tuna if you wanted to for the extra protein. You could have a chicken salad. You could have chicken salad or a roast chicken, but you could also with the cottage cheese. Some people like it, some people don't, but there's lots of different ways that you can use cottage cheese. I like to put some protein powder in mine with a teaspoon of cocoa powder and drizzle it in honey. We put some more seeds over the top. It's so good. So good. I absolutely love cottage cheese. A lot of people don't and think the taste is horrible, but if you put everything's with it, it's actually really, really nice. So let's move on to fiber and gut health. Really, really important for everybody, especially for a woman over the age of 40. So by having enough fiber per day, as well as having the protein, the two working together, is going to give you a great digestive system, and it's going to keep you more satiated for a longer period of time, so you're not snacking for those sugary cravings. Our gut health and our hormones are very closely connected. So if we are not taking care of our gut health, our hormones can't produce correctly. And this is why we may feel bloated, tired, emotional, or feel like we can't sleep, or we're just continually gaining weight. So you need to make sure that you're getting adequate amount of fiber in your daily meals along with the protein to be able for your hormones to work in the best way that they can. So by taking in enough fiber, it may actually help the body remove any excess hormones. So it's very important that we're having about 25 grams of fiber per day, as well as having high protein meals for our digestive system to work correctly, for our hormones to produce correctly as well. Some of the foods that have high fiber in include oats, vegetables, berries, chia seeds, whole grains, and beans and lentils. Great sources of fiber, and some of them also great sources of protein as well. Now let's move on to more vegetables, and I can never pronounce this word correctly, so I apologize. Crucifous vegetables. I always feel like I'm being a Harry Potter person. So crucifous vegetables. I'm really sorry I can't say it. And these things include things like spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, and kale. So basically eating your greens is going to be very good for our gut health. So basically eating your greens, because these particular vegetables support your estrogen balance. And if you are a woman over the age of 40, our estrogen can be very erratic, because that is what we're losing, is our estrogen, because we no longer need to bear children. But if you have these vegetables, it helps balance it out a little bit. Now, I can't eat cauliflower or broccoli because I bloat for weeks, not just days, weeks. So I always stick with spinach and kale because those are softer on my own digestive system. So try them. If some of them don't work for you, try the others. Our bodies are all different. Our bodies will react to food all differently. But for me, broccoli and cauliflower, no matter how I cook it, it just doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for my digestive system, whereas spinach and kale works perfectly. The thing is, you don't need to go and sit down and have a huge bowl of spinach or a massive bowl of broccoli. You can just start by adding it into your meals every day. So people say chicken, rice and broccoli, one of the most boringest meals in the world, but adding some broccoli to your plate every day, or adding spinach to like maybe a stir fry or something, was actually going to help. So you don't need to eat bowls and bowls of it, but by adding a little bit in each day is really going to help. Now, when you're over 40, and again, a woman in the perimenopause, menopause stage, it's really important that we support our blood sugar levels, because they can spike and then drop, and then we get the cravings and they spike and then they drop again. And it can make us feel not only that we might have more symptoms of the perimenopause and menopause, but it will also make us feel really sluggish and uncomfortable. So the best thing to do is to try and use foods that is actually going to stabilize our blood sugar levels, so we're not getting those cravings. And not only is that going to work on our body and what's happening inside our body, it's also going to help us have better mood as well. Because if we have a blood sugar spike, it can affect our energy, our mood, and our cravings, which is the three things that we want more energy, but we don't want it to affect our mood and get grouchy and have further cravings. So the foods that you should be aiming to add into your daily meals are things, like I said, protein with every meal, having fibre-rich carbs, which are things like the vegetables, sweet potatoes, quinoa, all those things are going to help because they're high fibre foods. Cinnamon is also very good to help stabilise your blood sugar. You could add this into a tea. Some people have a cinnamon tea. You could also add it over some yogurt. Or you could just cut up some apples and add it over some apples as well. So cinnamon is very good to stabilize those blood sugar levels. And like I said previously, nuts is also very, very good to help stabilize our blood sugar levels. But again, they are high in calories, so you are going to have to limit how much you eat of those per day. Basically, you just want to have balanced snacks, and that can be apple with Greek yogurt with some cinnamon over it. It could be apple with some peanut butter, or you could just make yourself a small yogurt bowl with lots of berries in, some seeds in, just like we've discussed before. All of those things are going to help stabilize your blood sugar levels so that you're not going to have a dip in energy, a cranky mood, and you're not going to be searching for those sugary snacks and have those sugary cravings. The next thing you want to look at is you want to find foods that are rich in magnesium. Now, magnesium is very, very important for everybody, especially for a woman over the age of 40 in perimenopause and menopause, which I keep repeating and feel like a parrot. Magnesium really does help support many areas of our life. It can help with our sleep. It can help with our stress levels. It can help with our menstrual cycle symptoms that we have, those cramps and those horrible things that we go through every month. It can help with those. It can also help with muscle relaxation, and very good if you've had a hard workout and your muscles are aching. And having these extra foods are going to help with our muscles. Magnesium-rich food include things like almonds, spinach, dark chocolate, and pumpkin seeds. Now, I have actually been starting over the last week or so having a small handful of pumpkin seeds every night just before I go to bed, and I have been sleeping so much better. Yes, my sleep can still do with a lot of work. If you didn't watch my last week's video about sleep, please go and watch that next. Very important video all about how sleep affects our health. I'll link that in the description box below for you. But the pumpkin seeds have been really helping me get a better night's sleep. Now, this one isn't so much about foods. Now, foods can help with our hormones. It can help balance them. It can help produce them. Having certain foods in our daily meals every day will actually help our hormones much better. But it's not the only thing that actually affects our hormones. Other things such as sleep and stress, hydration and movement can also have a massive effect on our hormones. If we're lacking sleep, it can make our hormones more erratic. If we're stressed, that's the cortisol hormone, that will spike, and which will also make our hormones go a bit out of whack, really. You also want to make sure that you are doing plenty of movement, and you don't need to go to the gym. You know, I always recommend doing strength training. Again, I've done a video on strength training as well. Go and check that out in the description box below too. I always suggest doing strength training because it's going to help keep our lean muscle mass. But I also feel that by just moving, walking, yoga, Pilates, whatever it may be for you, is going to release those endorphins hormones, which will make us feel much better about ourselves, and it will lift our mood. And the final thing is hydration. We need to make sure that we are drinking plenty of water. Now, yes, everyone can say, oh, I drink squash, I drink this, or I drink lots of tea. I drink a lot of tea, but I also drink 2 litres of water every single day, just plain water. Now, you can make that water better by adding in some cucumber and some lemon and some other citrus fruits. You can do that to make it taste a little bit better if you don't like the taste of plain water. But obviously, if you're using squash, some of it still have some sugar in, which is not going to give you just the hydration that you need from the water. Also, you could take electrolytes as well. So hydration is really important for our hormones, for our skin, and for our overall health. So yes, when we hit over the age of 40, we start looking into supplements. We start looking into different ways that we can look after our body. And yes, supplements are absolutely fantastic. When you are missing something from your regular diet, taking supplements is a really, really good idea. However, you can still get everything you need from food. And it doesn't need to be the perfect diet, and it doesn't need to be overly expensive. You can go and buy the budget stuff and you'll still get what you need to get from it. It's more about you making very small, consistent changes over time rather than make a big jump into something that you're not quite sure how to navigate. But by making small, little, consistent changes, eventually, in a few weeks, in a few months, you'll be eating the foods that are going to benefit you and benefit your hormones. Now, just before I close off the video, like I said previously, our bodies are all different. And sometimes our bodies will love the foods we have and will hate the foods that we have. Like I said earlier on, my body is absolutely fine with having kale and spinach, but it hates broccoli and cauliflower. It makes me feel lethargic, sluggish, bloated, constipated. It's just awful. So I don't add them into my routine because they're not good for my body. But spinach and kale work absolutely fine. So that's why it's always important to try things. See how your body reacts. If it doesn't react well, try something else. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be Instagram worthy. It doesn't need to be TikTok worthy. It doesn't need to be what all these influencers are telling you to do. It needs to be what is best for you. I really do appreciate you spending the time with me, and I hope that you have learned something new from the video today. If you have, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel so that I know that you've enjoyed the video. And any comments that you have, do put them in the comment box below because I love talking to my community. I hope whenever you're watching this, you're having a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.